Oh yes. I am behind. I am a little late. Uh, there's some great comments in here already. Already some great comments in here. I've been doing my draft videos. Very, very lucky to have some new subscribers. Of everything that I do, the draft videos generate the most new subscribers, and it's been very lucky. And the thing is, though, is you can't make everybody happy. So it's at times it's a little difficult, sometimes a little frustrating. Some of the comments are, but man. Okay, Pete says, have a great show. Hit the like and reminder and left like a hit. Pete, I know you don't get in on the Friday shows, and when the season starts, I'll go back on Wednesday. I haven't changed the YouTube thing yet. One thing I want you guys to bear with me. I didn't have a chance to get coffee, and I promise it's not Coke. I picked up my cup and I didn't hit the brew button, so it's brewing right now. I will have to step aside to get my coffee. I am jacked up. Here's the drill, man. I have a good 9 to 5. It's a good 9 to 5. But they do this thing. They want to do training 6 a.m. Friday morning. I mean, what company does that? Hey, when do we train our employees? Hey, I got an idea. 6 a.m. Friday morning. I mean, come on. So yeah, I promise it's not Coke, but I am going to have to run and get my coffee. I want my coffee, even though I'm really jacked up already. All right, let's get to these comments. These are some good ones. By the way, if you watched any of the draft videos, I really appreciate it. The Falcons one had some sound issues, and I apologize about that. I'm going to go ahead and get through the comments, and I'm going to go over my mock draft a little bit. By the way, my mock draft videos, I do a final mock right before the draft, especially with the Jets, because I've been going back and forth on it. A lot of people disagree with me. One Jets fan said that they will mutiny if they take Justin Fields. And by the way, I have called Kyle Wilson, at least 12 times, and I will continue to do that. All right. I'm going to try, but I guarantee you sometimes, if you're new to the show, this is your first time joining the show, I mispronounce names. I get names wrong all the time. But as a bonus, which I bet you didn't know, I give great dating and relationship advice. I am helping out couples already. I found that out. It's awesome. So I'm behind, man. I apologize. Funk, my brother, man. How are you doing, man? How you doing? I'm helping relationships out. That being said, hold on one moment. I'm going to get my coffee. It's not Coke. It's coffee. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Okay. Coffee's here. It's fresh. I'm ready to go. My boy Chad's in the house. Chad has helped me out with my computer. I still haven't fixed that sound issue. I'm going to work on that over the weekend. It's not Coke. And when I scratch my nose, it is not bad Coke. I haven't heard anything in the last 2 days, but prior I heard J.J. Watt is considering both my Bucks and Bills. Yes, he's considering Bucks and Bills. You've heard Cleveland. Apparently his wife plays for the Chicago team. And I think somebody in the chat here actually told me that. I'm going to stand by what I said. I think he's going to Miami. I think he ends up in Miami. I really believe that. So I'm going to stick with that. I have J.J. Watt going to Miami. I'm the only person who says that. So, One Pride 40 has an interesting take since he takes Pitts, but I want them to take Parsons. One Pride 40, in case you can't tell by name, great subscriber. By the way, I owe you an apology. You sent me to Presser, and I'm going to watch it. I promise you, I'm going to watch it this weekend. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I am going to watch it this weekend. He's worried that the Lions are going to take Micah Parsons, and I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to pay attention to this, but spoiler alert: I don't have him in my first round. I don't have him in my first round. I think his off-field incidents are bad enough to take him out of round one. I really believe this. That's just my opinion. And I'm going to keep an eye out to see like what inside information I can get. If you have anything, please share it with me. But as of today, as of right now, I don't have Micah Parsons in the first round at all. Now, I do a new draft video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That may change, but as of today, as of right now, I don't have Parsons in the first round. All right, Stevie says he can't afford 2 lines, so he gets more subscribers, and that is correct. I can't afford below until I get more subscribers. I got like 10 new subscribers this week. My draft videos get me more subscribers than anything else that I do, which is weird, but you know, it's like this though. I mean, this is okay. The live streams is actually my favorite thing to do, but the draft videos is what gets me new subscribers. But this is my favorite thing right now. If I could go out on a date with a beautiful girl or hang out with a bunch of guys and talk football, I'm 11 out of 10 times hanging out with a bunch of guys talking football. This is my favorite thing in the whole world. So I'm glad you guys are here. All right. You think Russ Wilson is going anywhere? I want to say no. And when I first heard about it, it just sounded like noise. I was reading an article on ESPN. There's 4 teams he's talking to. He says he could stay in Seattle or he could go. I think it's Dallas, Chicago, Vegas, or the Saints. And, you know, it's just I'm pretty sure he's going to stay in Seattle, but the simple fact that it's garnering noise is a little weird. Seattle is not afraid to do different and new things, but I just have a hard time thinking Wilson's going to go anywhere, man. Funk says, I'm not here for you to maybe hey man, we're just here to talk football, man. But I help out, man. I help out. I give great advice. Jacket, yeah. I'm I'm actually wearing my gym gear. I'm going to go to the gym right after the show. Gotta get to the gym. Stevie says 6 a.m. morning isn't bad. Yeah. See, you have the option of staying and getting out several hours early. Since they didn't have overtime, I got out an hour early, but I'm still late for the show. Yeah, so. But yeah, I do have to work tomorrow, but that's okay because I have off Sunday and Monday. And Sunday, I'm going to make the Bengals video. Monday, I have a whole bunch of draft stuff I'm going to kind of go over. And Monday is when I'm going to watch great, a name I already forgot. The Bengals head coach presser Funk sent me. Monday, I'm definitely going to watch it 100%. Well, James says, well, I know you know the guys helping make decisions on drafting players in Detroit, so I'm anticipating. Yeah, Detroit's an interesting one because I'll just spoiler alert because I'm going to release the video Friday. I'll talk about them drafting a quarterback, and then I'll talk about them not drafting a quarterback. I promise it's not to Coke. My nose itches. So, yes. So, all right, I'm going to drink coffee. I'm seeing a lot of Parsons getting mocked to us, and I want no part. No, I've seen a lot. Okay, Micah, let's do this here because not everybody knows it. Micah Parsons is an athletic freak who set out last year for Penn State. He's got all the talent in the world. I heard his combine was going to be just ridiculous. However, at Penn State, there was multiple incidents, including him Sanduskying or threatened to Sandusky his teammates. What's worrisome is that multiple teammates have said he actually pulled out his, let's semi try to keep it YouTube friendly here. But basically what it is that he pulled his junk out and like there's a difference between like threatening or saying something. I promise it's not the coke. But it's another thing when the thing's actually out. He also he was said by several players to like steal their clothes when they're in the shower, not giving them back. A lot of bad things, really bad things. I think this is going to keep him out of round one completely, but it's something I'm going to follow. I have seen him get mocked to the Lions many times. I don't think he goes in round one. As a general rule of thumb, when you have a brand new regime, you don't take players like this in your with the first pick that you have. You usually draft a player that's like, okay, this is the type of guy that we're going to go forward with. You don't take a guy with like a red flag like Parsons has, and there's multiple red flags. His talent is that of a first rounder, but everything else isn't. I don't think he's going to go in the first round, but I'm going to keep an eye out on it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I will say this, spoiler alert, when I do the Lions video Friday, I won't have Micah Parsons going to the Lions. Pitts doesn't sound bad for the D. No, he if I'm a Lions fan, I would love that Pitts. Pitts is one of my favorite players. Couples therapy. This is a kind of you can look at the YouTube comments, but yeah, me and Funk were joking around. By the way, raise your hand if you've ever had sex with a girl and called her the wrong name. All right. So to prevent this, just call her baby. Dating advice with Dan. Kevin, welcome, brother. You're new to the show. I'm glad you're here. I will get on with it. I apologize for holding you up, man. Glad you're here, man. Glad you're here, brother. Hold on here. You should have guests on that will track. Yeah, I know. Actually, as I know, Mike, I know you love all the Lions talk that we do here. Luke G of the Luke G Field Review does a Lions show. I've been on his show twice. He volunteered to come on, and I've chatted. I chat with him on social media, but I haven't called him yet. But I've been meaning to have him on. I think that what I'm going to do is that for the draft videos and for the live stream, I'm going to do it solo. But sometime after the 4th of July, I'm going to start breaking out all 32 NFL teams. I think I might have him on to talk about the Detroit Lions. And I might try to get more people that follow, their team. If you want to, maybe come on and talk about either the Bills or the Bucks. Keep in mind, this will be after the 4th of July. So keep in touch with me, man. I believe I know how to set everything up. StreamYard has been user-friendly, so getting you on, having a little back and forth should not be too much of a problem. But yeah, I might need to do that here pretty soon. From now till the draft, I won't. But once I get after the 4th of July, I'm going to go ahead and start breaking out all 32 NFL teams. And that's actually my favorite thing to do. I actually like that more than the draft. But the draft has been pretty popular, Well, in between girlfriends, this is the place. Absolutely, man. Man, you know what, man? Dating and relationship advice with Dan. This is going to be awesome. What player is a good fit for Detroit? Well, I'm going to talk about that in my video, but I've said this many times. You got to fix that defense. The defense is horrendous. I can make a strong case that Goff is better than Stafford. And when I say better, I'm not talking as a better quarterback in 2021. I'm saying better long term. If I'm Jared Goff, because I'm getting $43 million this year, I am going to, and by the way, you let me know if Golf is doing this because I have no idea. If I'm Jared Goff, I am going to every single Pistons game. I am going to Tigers games. I am going around the community. I'm handing out number 16 T-shirts to anybody who will listen. I want to integrate myself with the Detroit community as much as possible because this is a good quarterback. This is a good quarterback. It's not like you traded Stafford for some bum. You got a good quarterback. So I mean, I personally, you got the number one thing about Detroit's that defense. I'm just telling you. Now, do you take a quarterback at 7, or you take somebody on defense, or do you trade down? Those are kind of your 3 options. You don't even have to watch my video, but I hope you do when I release it Friday. It's going to be Monday's Bengals, Wednesday Philly, and then Friday is going to be the Lions. So if they do draft, this chat is full of football weirdos, and I effing love it. What's up, big Denver Gator? What's up, brother? Denver Gator, man. I'm starting to get really jacked up, man. This is great, man. Yeah, I woke up at 5. Had an energy drink a few hours ago. I thought it was wearing off, but now I'm feeling pretty jacked up. I promise I did not do some coke. Real fast. If you didn't watch my videos, shame on you, but spoiler alert. By the way, somebody did complain I didn't do a Jacksonville video, but so I'm going to do this real fast. Here's my Jacksonville video. Jacksonville takes Trevor Lawrence. There you go. So I don't think that sentence really needed a video, but somebody complained about it. So if you're watching, if Jacksonville, hey, look, when they pick at 25, I'm going to do a Jacksonville video then, and I'll go over a lot more about the team there then. So anyway, dang, yeah. It's not the coke. Stevie's coming in strong, man. I love it, man. I love it. Now you're making me look bad because I haven't watched it yet. After seeing Campbell's introductory presser, he seems like that type of player. Dan says it's not the coke rather than it's not coke. Oh, man. Let's keep this YouTube friendly. Next sentence, promise it's not coke. Oh, man. It's funny because I got to do a new intro video, and I really want to talk about you guys because you guys are really what makes the show. Like Mike, I'm gonna call Mike out. I know Mike made more money gambling on sports than I did. He actually does a better job, but I can't sit here and say, hey, join the show because Mike knows the sports. By the way, I want everybody to feel bad for Mike. He had some weather problems in Fort Lauderdale. He was forced to put on a jacket outside. So we all feel for you here, Mike. All right, now Smith, Chase, Waddle, Pitts. It's funny because a lot of people like Waddle over Smith. I'll be honest. I think I could argue. I could argue either way. I prefer Waddle over Pats. Parsons. Oh, okay. Waddle over Parsons. Yeah, it would be Dan's luck that her actual sister's name is. That has not happened. That has not happened. Funk, you've done it a few times. Yeah, that's not a good thing. It's not good. Actually, a girl did that to me once, and you've heard the expression, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I was guilty of doing that more than once, unfortunately. But now if we trade back, I like Xavier Collins, Bolton J. Okay. You know what? Xavier Collins is one of my favorite players in the draft. I love this kid. I love this kid. I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go a lot higher than most people think. JOK, he's the Notre Dame linebacker. Hopefully you guys know who he is. I am really high on him as well. I just don't think Detroit can take him at 7. So You know what? I really should. That's actually a great idea Mike has, getting people on the show. It's actually really good, really good idea. I'm super high on Jabil Cox, I think, has a third round grade. JOK is going to go in round one. JOK is going to go in round one. And tell you the truth, I would love that Detroit takes him, because he's not getting past the Raiders. I'm telling you this right now. He's not getting past the Raiders. Putting Ian Parsons. Yeah, I've seen it a lot, but I really don't think I think his stuff is just the off-field stuff's just really bad. Everyone, if you want a good laugh, watch the good old Brandon Perna do a try share. Yeah, do share it with me. I think I've seen it already, and I haven't watched the actual presser itself, but I think I've seen that. But if you get a chance, send me the link. You know what? Xavier. Okay, I'm drawing a blank on Bolton, but Xavien Collins is the linebacker from Tulsa, and I have a huge man crush on this guy. This is a guy who he's going to go in the first round. I think he's going to go a lot higher than people think. I think the combine or his pro day is really not going to mean a lot. He's about 6'4", 260. He's not you got to use him as a 3-4. He's not really a good fit in a 4-3. He's really not, even though I think he's going to run well. He's really a 3-4 guy. But this guy, I think, is just going to be a superstar. I think some team's going to get him and just fall in love. He's going to be great. James says, I remember you know, James, me and you should just get a place in Vegas and just live like rock stars. So he's an average QB. I thought Xavier Collins was the Tulsa linebacker. Did I get the ones messed up? I kind of like the wide receiver. You want a wide receiver. I thought that, okay, One Pride 40, I apologize. I'm going down. I thought that you wanted Pitts. Well, I guess Pitts is a wide receiver. But Stevie says, drinking game, do a shot every time Dan denies doing. I kind of want a receiver in the first round. It's not a bad idea. It's if you well, you know, I got 2 more draft videos, so I kind of don't reveal it, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Am I the only one who thinks of Bill Clinton with Dan? Okay, we got give golf another weapon. Yeah, you need to come to Detroit. I've only been to Detroit once. It was about 20 years ago. It was about 20 years ago. I used to drive over the road, and I'll never forget. I had to drive from Green Bay through Chicago, and I hit Detroit after driving all night. And luckily, the company I drove for, they have like a facility there, so I could go take a shower and just passed out. I got to see nothing in Detroit, but it was during springtime. It was beautiful. At least the place that I was at. So, but yeah, I actually, believe it or not, going to Michigan's kind of on my bucket list, because I spent some time in Green Bay. I was in Green Bay because that's the headquarters was located there in Green Bay. I was in Green Bay in February. It's the coldest I've ever been in my whole life. It's crazy. I hated it. However, like around May, it gets to be really beautiful. Like up north during springtime is gorgeous. Dan is pulling a Wolf of Wall Street. One of my favorite movies. Now I do. And you know what? I should do an OnlyFans. Why am I not? Jabil Cox falls further than mid-second. It should be. When he has his pro day, I'll get back to you, but I keep seeing third round. I know you like him. So give golf is walking. Wow. I'm a little surprised. I think he's a good quarterback. You got a good young quarterback. He's almost 10 years younger than Stafford. He's not all banged up. He's a Pro Bowl caliber player. I mean, he's not a bad guy. You could do a lot worse, man. Remember before Stafford, all those quarterbacks you have? Joey Harrington. Do I need to bring up Joey Harrington? Rodney Peete, Eric Hipple. Andre Ware. I thought Ware was going to be great. Dude, trust me, you can do a lot worse than Jared Goff. So, JOK, Bolton, Cox, all perfect. You really just need front seven help. You really need front seven help, period. Whether it's free agency or in the draft, that's your number one concern. Funk, what do you think of Xavien Collins? Funk loves Z Collins. I'm kind of surprised me and Funk I kind of agree here. If the Lions are going to use him as a jack, I'll take him long before Parsons. Honestly, he would be perfect for. Yes, he's exactly. He's perfect for Patricia's scheme. Bolton's the MU kid. Okay, I should have known that. But Bolton is the MU kid. Yeah, Bolton is the MU kid, and I kind of forgot him. I mean, he's a little undersized, really athletic, really fast. Chiefs fans have been clamoring for him to actually come from Kansas City. If Tampa Bay doesn't re-sign, not Devin White. Oh, crap, I already forgot his name. This is how bad I am. I forgot his name already. The other linebacker, I'm drawing a complete blank. There's a good chance that he goes in the first round to Tampa Bay. He's a real good player. Collins would, yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if Patricia was still in Detroit, Collins would be a perfect fit for that defense. Perfect fit. So there's a linebacker from Kentucky named Davis. I've heard of him. I haven't watched any film of him yet. So yeah, we do need that. Rusty Hilger. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I'm drawing Levante Davidson name. Okay. Trubisky. Yeah, I know. I know. You need help all along the front seven. You do. And I know linebackers, defensive ends, you need a lot. I mean, you really need to just kind of rewrite that whole front seven. So when you have a guest on his own channel, yeah. Well, that's why there's a lot of Detroit fans. I was on the Luke G show, and he told me I would get about 20 or 30 new subscribers, and that's kind of what I got. And a lot of the Detroit people are from the Luke G show, and it was a lot of fun to do. It was kind of funny because when me and Luke do get on the phone, it's like 2 to 3 hours. We just talk football, but we message each other. He offered to come on the show a while back, and I've always just done the show by myself, so I haven't had him. But you have a really good point, Mike. I probably should have some more guests on the show. Probably try to interact more with people. I kind of just do the live stream just because I love talking football, and what's my favorite thing to do? I just want to talk football, so I literally I look forward to Friday night. And I turn on the camera. I got my microphone. I just want to talk football. It's not my YouTube channel is not, I guess, the most organized channel, but I love doing this. There's nothing else I'd rather do. Nothing else I'd rather do than just talk football. So I probably should kind of get a little more serious about it. I mean, I don't know if you know anything about YouTube, but you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours before they give you a penny. And so the 4,000 watched hours, if I produce better content, I'm not worried about it. The 1,000 subscribers is tough, and I probably won't hit that for quite some time, unfortunately. But the draft, I think when the draft starts, I'll go from like I said, I got 10 this week, about 10. I'll probably be around 700. And my goal is 700 by the time draft starts. So. Jadman, One Pride 40, man. I'm drawing a blank on that guy. And yeah, that was the guy, Levante David. if Levante David leaves through free agency, I think Nick Bolton would probably be the pick there in Tampa Bay because he's a guy who would start day one next to Devin White. So I'd shoot. I'd rock. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure who this player is. I don't want Bolton, but I'm not from Missouri. He's athletic. He's a little undersized. He actually fits perfect for what Kansas City wants to do. But, I mean, you have to realize I'm doing 3 videos a week. So I got a long time to go before Kansas City. The one thing about Kansas City is that I've been trying to tell people is that they drafted Willie Gay. He missed the Super Bowl, but second round pick, and he played a lot more than I was expecting last year. He's kind of the future, probably will be the starting middle linebacker this year. So because he's a second-year player, I'm not sure that they want a first-year player on the defense. They probably want to have some veterans around them. Spoiler alert. But at the same time, when a couple weeks come by, Bolton may be the pick from Missouri. But I get why you're not a fan. Not everybody's high on him, but he's undersized, very fast, very athletic. So One Pride 40 says Cox will be there in the third. That's what I've been seeing, and I haven't. I want to see his pro day. Ideally, I would have done the videos later, but I wanted to do them now because I'm gonna have to do a bunch of retraction videos. But I've seen most mock drafts Cox going in the third. So James says, why don't you plan a road trip to Detroit where fans are allowed back in stadiums and get tickets to a Lions game? You know, it's a true story. I've had Chiefs season tickets since 1989. I've been to Arrowhead over 300 times, easily over 300. I have never been to an imposing stadium. Never. I think the first one will probably be in Vegas because I'm planning on going to Vegas to kick off the NFL season, and then I'm going to try to go back several times during the year. The doing the online betting is not something that I've really liked. So what I think I'm going to try, the plan is I'm going to try to do all my betting in Vegas and try to go several times. There's some really good packages. We'll have to wait and kind of see what goes on in the rest of the world. But the plan is to go to Vegas several times this next football season. But you know what? It's kind of on my bucket list of travel. The travel to the north, like during the spring, summer, like would be like after the NFL draft. I would be more apt to try to like go to Detroit for a few weeks, try to not during football season, but during like baseball season, check out the town. But yeah, Fatty, stop. Yeah, he did a number, but you guys are in a good place now. You guys are in a good place now, so. Golf is still better than Trubisky. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fair. Mike, why would somebody from KC want to go to Alliance? It's kind of funny, man. So what is your issue with the Rams? I think they might really won. Okay, I'm going to read this again. So what's your issue with the Rams? I think they might be really one Donald injury or staff injury, and they're no. You're right, because I think like the top 6 players of their team are responsible for like 60 to 65% of their cap, and if one of these players gets hurt, without Donald, that defense falls apart. Remember, they did lose their defensive coordinator, so that's an issue that I have. When I break down the lines a little more, that's kind of the problem that they have, is that the star power on that team's great. But let's say Donald gets injured, let's say Ramsey gets injured, let's say Stafford gets hurt. That team could really that team could be bad. That team could be bad. That's a team that's got to stay healthy. And remember, Whitworth, he's their starting left tackle. He's 74 years old. I think he's actually 39, to be perfectly honest. But, yeah. All right. I don't man Cox is best, at least top 3. Remind me on this, because when he has his pro day, I kind of want to take a look at him, watch a little bit of him on tape, and we'll kind of go from there. And when he's talking a little undersized, he's talking about Nick Bolton from Missouri, who, from what I've seen, is going to be about 6 foot 230. And we'll have to wait for the pro day. We'll have to wait till the pro day. But if you watch him on film, he really looks like a safety. He looks like a safety playing linebacker. He's that hybrid type of player, but he's going to play linebacker in the NFL. He will have to put on weight. He will have to put on weight. Waiting on Casey is killing me. I'm doing about 8 mocks a day on my. Hey, Stevie, you have all my links to social media. Shoot me a few if you don't mind. I'd love to see what you think. And I'm going in order, so it's going to be a couple weeks so I get to Kansas City. It's going to be a couple. These actual next 3 are that I'm doing this week's kind of going to be fun. Cincinnati is a whole new different beast. Philly's interesting, and then also got the Lions. So, I forgot about this. Okay, Chaz Surratt, North Carolina, was a quarterback. I forgot about this guy. Converted to linebacker. I saw. Yes. Okay, this guy. I do remember this guy, and I love this guy. He does need to put on weight. I think he's something like 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", but he's like 215. He will need to put on weight. Really good speed, really good athlete. He's a guy that if you draft him, he can't start. He'll be able to play like in the nickel right away. He'll be able to play in like obvious passing downs. Special teams guy for year 1. If he can get in the weight room, put on the NFL 20, he could be really special. I forgot about him. I know who you're talking about. I actually really liked him quite a bit. I remember I watched North Carolina and Miami, where North Carolina ran for like 800 yards on them, and then I was like, "Who's this 21?" And then they started talking about his backstory, and I was like, "Wow!" And they were saying he looks like, I heard 2nd round player, which I know that you probably like that Cox kid better, but his pro day he needs to be good. And he needs to be over 220. If he's over 220, he'll go probably in somewhere in the 2nd round. So Cox is a stud. And I need to watch more of Jabil Cox. Can Collins cover? Okay, Collins played at Tulsa and Conference USA. Yes, Power 5 conference. I don't really know. I don't know if I don't think he played at any of the Senior Bowls or All-Star games. He's a guy that I'm going to say yes, but he's not a guy you want. He's not. You don't want to put him like on Travis Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? But could he in the right scheme? If you have like a 4-3 covers 3 scheme, you don't want this guy to play middle linebacker. Okay, let's just say that. The Broncos seem interested in Chaz and Cox in the corner from Syracuse in the 2nd through 4th rounds. And one thing, and I think we kind of disagree on this. I disagree with a lot of Denver fans. I think the offense is set, but a lot of Broncos fans are wanting a new quarterback. I think on offense you're just fine. If I'm Denver, your goal is to beat Kansas City. Okay. And I didn't like how they are trying to build an offense to go toe to toe with Kansas City. It's not going to work. Build a defense that can play with Kansas City. That's what you want to do. And if that's the case, then you want to get multiple players. You want to add speed. You want to add speed. You want to add athleticism. You want players that can get after Mahomes. And so this would be great. I would recommend getting several players. Didn't they lose one of their inside linebackers to free agency, if I remember right? I know they lost. They cut their corner. There was Von Miller talking about leaving. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I know I'm a Chiefs fan, but I mean Von Miller going somewhere else just sounds weird. But in my opinion, if Denver's smart, They need to add playmakers on defense and try to build. Okay, let's take a look at the recent history behind the Denver Broncos. All right, was it Super Bowl 46, greatest offense of all time? They lose by 35 in the Super Bowl. One of the more underrated great defenses of all time, Super Bowl 50, they win. Why are you trying to build a great offense? Build a great defense. That makes sense to me. But, we'll see. We'll see. I think Denver's smart if they go heavy on defense. That's my opinion. Every time Denver drafts an offensive player, as a Chiefs fan, I just kind of chuckle. That's just my opinion. But if I'm stuck at 7 and all the QBs off the board, I'm taking Smith. You're probably not alone there, Fong. Or I'm sorry, 154. You're probably not alone there. You're probably not alone. I've been seeing a lot of people really liking either Smith or Waddle. I've seen a lot more people are higher on Waddle than Smith. Let me ask you something, and I apologize because I know I'm behind. Let me ask you something, One Pride 40, just purely hypothetical. Pitts or Smith, who are you taking? And I'll try to get to that comment pretty quick. So I think seeing a Lions game at Ford Field could be electric if this new rebuild works. No, I 100% agree with you. It just won't be electric this year. This year it's going to be bad. So Z Collins is solid in his zone and gets out of flats pretty well. Yeah, I don't want him covering a tight end like Kelsey, but yeah, I think in the right type of team, Z Collins, he gets with the right team, could be a Pro Bowler as a rookie. I think he's one of my favorite players in the draft. I'd like to hear that. I forget which comment here. Sorry about that. And their line is awful. Yeah, the Rams have some offensive line issues. Do I prefer Collins over Parsons? Yes, 100% yes. And Collins, if I remember right, he was like a three-time captain. I think he's like valedictorian. Every intangible trait you want in a football player, period, Collins has and Parsons doesn't. Give me that guy any day of the week. If you have two good players and one's a better athlete but has all sorts of problems and one's just a better player and has I think he was like a valedictorian, like three-time captain. And I think like in high school he played like all these different positions. Collins is going to go a lot higher than people think. I hear late first round. I think he's going to go somewhere in the middle. I think a team's going to reach on this kid and be very pleasantly surprised. The Patriots, Dante Hightower, remember how good he was? He sat out last year due to COVID. That's the type of player you're going to get. I think a guy that could be a dominant Pro Bowl player. I think Collins is better than Parsons. It's not even a question for me. Parsons is probably going to have the better pro day. So, if the top 4 mobile quarterbacks are gone, who are the other 2 people picked? Pitts, Chase, Sewell. I settle for one of those 3 if they can't move back. What about Smith? Okay. All right. I said I'd get back. Okay, it's hard. All right. I'd swear right now, hold me to it. I'll be livid if the Broncos take a QB in the second round. Not so bad if we get Lance Fields if he falls, but in the second, I'm done. No, you should be mad. I'll be honest with you. I'm really surprised Broncos fans are trying to get a quarterback. To me, it doesn't make any sense at all. I think that what you do is you build up the defense. I mean, just look at your recent history. A great defense wins you a Super Bowl. A great offense gets you blown out in a Super Bowl. I don't understand. I mean, it just happened. It just happened. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell Broncos fans, but as a Chiefs fan, every time they draft an offensive player, I laugh. And if they draft a quarterback, Denver Gator, come on, go hop on I-70, about 8 hours, come to Kansas City. We will take you in. Stay away. I'm going to have to watch more of this kid. I'm going to have to watch more of him. I like Smith more than Waddle, but Chase is my wide receiver number 1. Pitts is my favorite offensive weapon in the draft, and the Lions need a little help on the line. That's interesting. I actually agree with everything you said. You saw my mock draft. I had Chase as my first wide receiver off the board. I had him to Miami at 3. I'm going to stand by this. Miami's not picking at 3. I don't know who is, but I don't think it's going to be Miami. But yeah, I got Chase as my number one, and then Pitts is my favorite offensive weapon. Waddle and Smith, I can argue. I can argue both ways, to tell you the truth. So they got safeties. Man, one pride 40. I'm sorry. Which team? If you're talking Denver, yes. If they can keep Justin Simmons, what if Chase is gone? Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm asking you. Let me ask you something. All the quarterbacks are gone. Chase is gone. Pitts is gone. That would be 6 picks. So you're picking 7. So I guess you do Waddle then. Yeah, I threw a curveball at you, man. If Chase is gone, it's either Pitts or Sewell. All right, that's actually a good one. That's a good one. I'm all about building defense under Fangio, cut AJ Casey and a few others, 100% on board with Locke and our offense. It's proven a great defense can stop the Chiefs. Only way to beat. Exactly. Me and you are 100% on board the same thing. If you bring a coach like Fangio, why are you going heavy on offense? It didn't make any sense to me. If you get a guy like Fangio, build up your defense. You got a couple good running backs. You have a good offensive line. Don't get overly creative. Just play good defense. Try to force turnovers. Put pressure on Mahomes. Yeah. Now, okay. One pride 40. Chase. All right. Between Pitts and Smith. Yeah, that is a tough one. It's a great receiving class. I don't laugh when they do. It depends on the player. I wanted Noah Fant. So, Noah Fant's a stud. I was not happy when Denver got. I think Noah Fant in about 2 or 3 years from now is going to be the best tight end in football. 2 or 3 years, maybe 2 years. Noah Fant's really good, folks. If you don't know who Noah Fant is, he probably will have a ridiculous year this year. The AFC West tight ends are crazy. You got Darren Waller, Travis Kelsey, and Noah Fant probably. Hopefully not next year, but probably 2 or 3 years from now will be the best one. Noah Fant's really good, folks. All right. Got Smith, huh? Stevie, I disagree unless you're going to count on the Chiefs O-line to have a lot of injuries. To get away from defensive Holden and a bad game plan from Reed, you got to keep up with that offense. I disagree. Okay, well, that's the whole point of this live stream is that nobody has to agree with me. Nobody has to agree with me. If you go ahead and I say what I have to say, and then you can disagree. I just don't think Denver can go toe-to-toe with Kansas City in a shootout. I don't think that you can go toe-to-toe with Kansas City on the shootout. I think you have to build up the defense. And the thing is with the offense is that they had so many injuries on the offensive line. That's something that the Chiefs will work on this offseason. They'll work on getting a solid number 3 option behind Hill and Kelsey. Well, number 4 option if you want to count CEH. But I don't think you really beat Kansas City by trying to go toe-to-toe with them on offense. I think that what you do is you build up the defense. And that's one thing Andy Reid's going to do. Trust me, Andy Reid's going to keep building up this offense. He's going to keep loading bullets into that gun. And at Kansas City, what they're going to do is have some studs on defense. But overall, the defense is always going to be pretty average. So, what about Hawk? Oh, Hawk's going to be good. Hawkinson and Noah Fant played together at Iowa. Hawkinson had the better. I'm sorry. Fant had the better receiving numbers. Hawkinson was the better player. They asked Hawkinson to block more, so he's not going to have I don't think you're going to see Hawkinson ever have a 90 or 100 catch season, but I think Noah Fant's going to have like several 90 to 100 catch seasons. Noah Fant's basically a big wide receiver. So is Travis Kelsey. Hawkinson does everything. So his numbers are going to be a little lower because you count on him more in the run game. So, All right. Damn it. Did I messed up here? I'm sorry. I got all lost here. Okay. All right. Let them sleep. Okay, here's where I was. Okay, Niners had a great defense, but look at Jimmy G as a quarterback as a G. Okay. I'll touch base on that. And I did a video, and I tried telling Niners fans that the first half of the season, before teams figured out how to beat that wide nine, and when D Ford was healthy, yeah, that defense was great, but the last half of the season, they were giving up like 28 points a game. The Chiefs actually gave up fewer points that year than San Francisco. San Francisco came out with a wide nine. Teams haven't seen it. D Ford on one side, Bosa on the other, Armstead and Buckner on the inside, and defenses didn't know how to handle it. But D Ford got injured. Teams started to figure it out. And the last, you look it up for yourself. The last half of the season was like the last 7 games. They were like 4-3, 5-2, and they gave up 28 points a game. And Niners fans were arguing. They were like, well, we played better teams. Well, what do you think Kansas City is? Kansas City played its worst game of the season in the Super Bowl and still won by 11 points. The wide nine defense tricked people. They weren't used to it. But as soon as D Ford got hurt, another thing was that the first 5 games of the season were all against winless opponents. Nobody had a win till like week 6. It was kind of like the perfect storm early in the season. And you, like I said, feel free to do the research for yourself. San Francisco started off, I think, like 7-0, 8-0. And then the last half of the season, they were like 5-3. It started to really kind of fall apart for San Francisco. I tried telling Niners fans that they really didn't have that good of a team. And I got a lot of hate from San Francisco. But, yeah. As a Chiefs fan, I laughed every year Elway took – yeah, and now so you're not – see, I think Locke he's not Mahomes, but I think Locke's really good. We went to the same high school, so yeah. Let them sleep. Okay. I feel like I gotta defend Hawk because Hawkinson's one of my favorite players. Travis Kelsey's a big receiver. Noah Fant's a big receiver. Hawk's a tight end. All right. And it drives me nuts when Chiefs fans try telling me Travis Kelsey's a great blocker. Travis Kelsey's looked at some great blocks. They don't use him that way. Travis Kelsey's really the Chiefs' number 1 receiver. All right. Darren Waller is the Raiders' number 1 receiver. Hawkinson blocks. Hawkinson does it all. And actually, because he does it all, you can make an argument that he's the better player. I'm not. And so I love Hawkinson. Noah Fant and Hawkinson played at Iowa together. Fant got more numbers. Hawkinson was drafted first because of his blocking ability. Same situation. But when you talk about the best tight end in football, is Hawkinson the best all around? Sure. If you want to tell me that, but when you compare tight ends by stats, Fant will be the guy who's going to have 20, 30 more catches, 300-400 more yards, maybe not as many touchdowns. So I'm not sleeping on Hawkinson. Great player. Hopefully in this offense they'll get a lot more creative with him because I really felt like Patricia didn't really want to use him the way that he should have been used. They should have been moving him all over the field, and they really didn't. A guy like Travis Kelsey, they use him everywhere. A guy like Hawkinson here in Kansas City would be a lot of fun. There's not that many. He went to a Pro Bowl. Hawkinson went to the Pro Bowl. Dan, if the O-line does his job and Mahomes make the right read, the offense isn't really – No, hey, Stevie, 100 – yeah. When the offensive line's on board, this Chiefs offense is – you have to understand something. The last 2 years – We're going to talk about that Chiefs Super Bowl offense and then this year's offense. Well, maybe not this year, but the first couple of years, Mahomes in Kansas City, we're going to talk about that as one of the greatest offenses of all time. You have Mahomes, who's the way he looks right now is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Travis Kelsey is going to be in a Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tyreek Hill, as of right now, playing at a all-pro level. He has to have another couple of years before we start talking about him in the Hall of Fame. Kelsey enters Canton now. No tight ends had more than 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons in the history of the National Football League. Kelsey has 5, including setting an all-time receiving yards record this year. So I think Kelsey retires today. He goes to Canton. Is he a first ballot guy? I don't know. That's debatable, but he is in Canton. This Chiefs offense is one of the greatest offenses in the history of the National Football League. Is top 5, top 10? I don't know yet. But I mean, can you talk about this Chiefs offense with like the greatest show on turf and Air Coryell? Yeah, you can. You can. Over 5,000 yards, over 50 touchdowns, a Super Bowl win. Yeah, it's one of the greatest offenses of all time. The problem is Kelsey is losing a step. How long is Tyreek Hill going to be the fastest player in the league? With Sammy Watkins, this offense is in a different level, but I mean, how many games did he play last year? 6? And McCole Hardman didn't. He has flashes, but he's just not the guy. Demarcus Robinson flashes. He's probably going to be gone. So Hawkinson easily a top 10. Damn it. Man, I'm sorry, man. I'm really behind on it, so I'm sorry, man. Hawk easily a top 10 tight end. People are bashing the pick. No, I wasn't. I wasn't at all. The Raiders went toe-to-toe, and their defense wasn't great. The offense was greatly bounced. Yeah, and keep in mind something. Andy Reid and John Gruden have coached together since the 90s. So this is going to be a great rivalry. The Raiders, when they played Kansas City at Arrowhead and won, that's the best that they can play. And I think that they really – Raiders right now play Kansas City. It's their Super Bowl. So, yeah. As a Gators fan, I've been seeing Pats grabbing Pitts and Trask in the second. Ooh, God. You know what? I have not seen that. But wow, that would be fun. Okay, don't forget, Stevie, that Lucas Ning, he was the Chiefs' 3rd-round pick. I did a video. He was actually my favorite draft pick. I actually thought he was going to be a Chiefs swing tackle this year, starter either on the left or the right side. He sat out due to COVID. There's a good chance he's going to be our starting left tackle. There's a good chance Eric Fisher doesn't come back. I hope he does, but he's going to come back. LDT is going to come back. And then I'm not sure what we're going to do on the other guard spot. But yeah, you're 100%. It's really, we're just getting players that are going to come back. But the offensive line's the number one thing as a Chiefs fan I'm going to look at. I'm not worried about the skill position talent. I'm worried about the offensive line. So, Pete, welcome, man. The mic, yeah, it's okay. Live, it's great. When I do videos, I get that weird popping noise. Man, I'm glad you're here, brother, man. I'm sorry I'm behind on the comments. So, but yeah. So Hawk is better. I like Hawk. I just love fan speed. Gamble in the house a long time. Yeah. Pete doesn't like the Friday shows as much. I like doing the Friday show, but when the season comes back out, I'll be doing Wednesday and Friday. So yeah. Man, lots of love for Pete, man. Lots of love for Pete. Pete's good people, man. I think Goff is going to, Goff is going to love Hawk. Yeah. And the reason why I want a receiver, because you can do a lot of them. Here's the thing that you got to think about. If you're a Lions fan, DeAndre Swift, I think, has just all sorts of untapped potential. And with a tight end like that, you just have some good things going, man. You have some good things. The question is, do you keep Galladay or do you have to draft a receiver or do you have to get another one in free agency? So that's kind of what you're saying. Yep. Yeah, man. Lots of love from Mike and Pete here. Great guys. Iowa tight ends. Yeah. Kittle came there. He came out of nowhere. And then Fant and Hawkinson. Yeah. There's some good tight ends in Iowa, man. There are some good tight ends. Yeah, I don't get – lots of Denver fans don't like Drew Lock, and I don't understand that at all. So, let's see here. Pretty quiet, Pete, going to FAU baseball tomorrow. Hopefully you don't have to go through the suffering of wearing a jacket. It's actually not bad here. It's like 40s here now. University of Iowa takes big wide receivers, turns them into tight ends. They recruit tight ends. I don't. You know what? Yeah, I'll have to go with you on that because I always thought they recruited tight ends and they just somehow become good receivers. Their offensive line, they've always had good offensive linemen. A lot of people don't realize how many Iowa offensive linemen go into the pros. They do produce a lot of offensive linemen. I'm gonna have to go with you on that because you're in Iowa. I am not. Yeah, that's my player comp. Is actually Pitts is very similar to Kelsey, So yeah. One pride. I would love a wide receiver this draft, just not to the third. This draft is loaded with wide out talent. A guy like Tylan Wallace could. Yeah, this is the thing. If I'm a Lions fan and I need a receiver, the third round's a perfect spot. Drawing a blank on his name, Eskridge, the Western Michigan guy might also be available. Tylan Wallace, a guy, he might be available in the third. So at least they were with Crystal. Keep me informed because I've always liked Iowa. Produced a lot of talent, produced some good players in the pros. Never been able to get to like a national. I would love to see Iowa be like in a national championship hunt. That would be really cool. But they're always like just below those, Ohio State and Michigan when they're at their best. But Iowa's a surprisingly good team. I've driven through there several times. It's actually pretty cool. Elijah Moore in the third. If I'm a Lions fan, I don't hate that. Mike, enjoyed FAU starting to get their football talent lately as well. I have to admit, as far as the recruiting, I have not looked at FAU yet. It's something I do want to take a look at because I know that for a while when Lane Kiffin was there, the guys from Last Chance U, FAU got like 3 or 4 of those guys. I think all of them have left now, but I kind of want to pay attention to FAU because there was a while that they looked like they were going to come into like a top 25 team. So Hawk hurdling dude in the rookie season was epic. Dude, I'm not dogging Hawkinson at all. I just think that I think Fant either this year or next year is going to be a guy that's going to have somewhere between 90 and 110 catches, 1,300 yards, and 10, 12 touchdowns. And it's really just a matter of time before his stats dwarf Kelsey's. Hopefully it's not next year, but it could. Season tickets of football. That actually sounds awesome. That actually sounds great. The stadium looks really cool. If I'm correct, it's like a 35,000, something like that. It's not a huge stadium, but it looks awesome, at least from the outside. So using my mind from what I've seen, it looks like Fant is bigger than Hawk, but I could be wrong. He looks bigger on film. I don't think so. Hawk, I think I'm just speculating. In the Detroit scheme colors, he looks smaller, but I think he's like 6. I think Hawkinson's like 6'6", 260, 250, where Fant's like 6'4", 240, 250, something like that. They're both big dudes. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm pretty sure Hawkinson's bigger. So, oh yeah, the hurdle, the Hawkinson hurdle. It's something that I think Matt Campbell, if he's smart, says, hey, don't do that. By the way, if you haven't yet, give me a thumbs up. I'm only watching on StreamYard. I may have 10,000 thumbs down. I don't know. So just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That is my shameless ploy right there. Mike, you be on it. Mike's a pimp, man. Mike is a stud, man. I just don't think we should reach for a quarterback, though. Well, it's funny because I want to tell you Dorsey follows the Packers way, but I mean, he traded up for Mahomes, and then with the first pick in the draft, he wanted Mayfield. I actually thought he was going to take Darnold. It was kind of a surprise. So you never know. That's the cool thing about a new regime is that you really don't know what they're going to do. But the one thing that I can tell you is that they're going to bring in a lot of players. Dorsey's going to you're going to see a lot of players in and out of this roster for a while. For at least definitely this year, probably next year. You're going to see a lot of roster turnover. That's the word I was trying to say. You sounded worried for your future teams in the $500 million signing. Let me see if I can get this correct. You sounded worried for your future team is the $500 million signing you're concerned, Dan. To tell you the truth, it's going to sound really nuts, but it's actually a team-friendly contract. I know it's going to sound nuts, but it's a team-friendly contract, and we locked Mahomes here for a long time. The issue is just getting him safe. Backup tackles and, a guy who is a guard off the street, you can't do that. You got to do everything you can for your offensive line, skill position talent. And then on defense, you really, to be honest, you just need a few playmakers. I mean, you're trying to win shootouts here in Kansas City. You're not going into a Super Bowl trying to hold the team to 9 points. So, but yeah. As long as it's not Rondale Moore, I don't like leg injury, especially a guy like wide receivers. It was funny because Justin Fields' first game I ever watched was against Purdue, and Moore had 3 touchdowns. He looked like a superstar. I'm like, oh my God. And also thinking to myself, man, Fields looks bad. It was funny. The first 3 games of Justin Fields I watched was Purdue, Indiana, Northwestern, and those are probably the 3 worst games of his career. Then he had that really good game against Clemson. So, but it's funny. Yeah, Rondale Moore, though, when healthy, looks like a superstar. Lots of injuries, and if you're injured in college, what are you going to do? You all of a sudden going to be an Iron Man in the pros? It's hard. So I just fine. I just don't want Rondale. Okay. Milwaukee was a great tight end. Yes. Milwaukee, he actually was drafted in the 3rd round by Iowa. I can't remember his first name, but replaced Tony Gonzalez, looked like a superstar. Looked like he was going to be a superstar, and just injury after injury after injury after injury. I mean, this guy looked like he was going to be great. I mean, really looked like he was going to be great, and just had a really good rookie season, and just I think that was like the last time he played like over 12 games in a season. Because he had a good rookie season, and then just was like you saw him like 4 games in a season, 2 games in a season, just terrible. So all right, sorry I am behind on my comments here. Appreciate you guys. Always loving Friday shows are awesome to catch up. Okay, man, I'm glad you watch the shows late, man. I'm glad you watch the shows late. This is my favorite thing to do. I mean, this is my absolute favorite thing in the whole world to do. I've been looking. I work from home, so I just sit across here. I look at this setup, and I can't wait to talk football. The draft videos get me a lot of new subscribers, but this is really my favorite thing in the whole world to do. So. I think the reason people don't like Locke is how good Herbert looked. It's that, and you look at Mahomes, and he's not as good as Mahomes. And Denver fans keep looking at, why can't we have a guy like Mahomes? Yeah, you have to realize, I think in a different division, like let's say you put him in the well, I was going to say AFC East. That's probably a bad example. But if you put him in a different division, you're probably thinking this is a good quarterback. There's a lot of things I like about Locke. Keep in mind, he barely played his first year. Then there was the pandemic. He didn't have OTAs. He didn't have training camp. You get a full, I think OTAs, training camp, everything's going to go on as normal. I think you're going to be good. So, and I mean, Judy was a rookie. What's his name? Cortland Sutton. He was out all of last year. He's a Pro Bowl receiver. So, I mean, there's so many things that went wrong with Denver, and you just want to blame the quarterback. No, this is okay. If, in my opinion, if Denver's smart, they say, Locke, here's the deal. You get Jerry Jeudy year 2. You get Cortland Sutton back. God, who was that guy? That big receiver came out of nowhere. He looked really good. You got that guy. I forgot his name. And then you get Noah Fant. The offensive line's good. You got 2 good running backs. There's no excuse for Denver not to have a good offense. No excuse. If Locke doesn't look like he's a really good quarterback, then you go into the draft and get one. But this year, I think you have to go with Locke. I think you have to do it. If you don't do it and you pick a quarterback, especially if you draft 9th, if you trade up or you take a quarterback at number 9, as a Chiefs fan, I'm laughing at you. We got 13 inches yesterday, not in a job. That's great. I feel bad for you, man. It's actually getting nicer here in Kansas City. Denver Gator, do you need to head east? Come here to Kansas City for a little bit, man. Breaking news, Watson got an OnlyFans. Mike Taggart and his sons, the quarterback's a nice thing to watch. So I did not know his son's the quarterback. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, I think so too. Kiffin's a guy that I really thought if Kiffin stayed at FAU, he could turn that into like a top 25 team, really dominate the American Conference, have a lot of fun there. But I mean, it's Lane Kiffin 101. He stays nowhere longer than 3 years. So. I trust me. I will bet money by 2025. Lane Kiffin will not be at Ole Miss. I will bet you any amount of money right now. I will not bet against you. I won't bet against you, but I'm telling you right now, he's not going to be at Ole Miss very much longer. Mike, the reason I'm sold is coach and son combo working together as a team could work with them being on the same page. I'm going to have to take a look. I'm going to have to take a look at that, to be honest with you. I knew Taggart was there. I didn't know his son was the starting quarterback. Iowa was number 3 in 2003. They played Pete Carroll's number 5 USC, about as close as they come. The team had some great players. Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, I did forget about that. That seemed to produce. I forgot. Oh, Dallas Clark was really good. I forgot he was from Iowa. Dallas Clark, really good. It's kind of a shame when you talk about like greatest tight ends of all time, you won't even hear Dallas Clark. For a while, he's putting up ridiculous numbers. Bob Sanders, if healthy, would have been in the Hall of Fame. Nate Keating was in the NFL for a long time. Pete, I'm not a fan of Taggart. Yeah, I remember you saying that. I had no idea. That his son was the quarterback. I'll be honest with you. I've only seen this in college a few times. It's never really been super successful. But I have to admit, I kind of want to watch this, though. For those of you who don't know, Willie Taggart had Oregon almost right after what's his name? Shit. He's now at UCLA. He went pro. Took over in Philly for Andy Reid. Anyway, Willie Taggart was in Oregon, had them like a top 15 team, and he left to take over Florida State, which even though Florida State, it's Florida State, he's from there, it was really a downward move because Oregon had a bunch of players coming back. a bunch of really good players. It was a high recruiting class. You're ranked. Florida State, even though he's from there, was still struggling to recruit. Just did terrible at Florida State. But I was thinking, hey, you go to a smaller school, maybe you got a chance to succeed. But I'm gonna take your word for it, Mike, that it's not good. So it's a team-friendly deal. It's a team-friendly deal. Trust me. There's going to be a quarterback in the next year or two who's going to make over $50 million a year. And you're going to hear that on ESPN like 2 years from now. It's going to be Mahomes has a team-friendly contract. Yeah, it really is a team-friendly deal. It doesn't sound like it, but it is a team-friendly deal. I wonder if we do something similar to the Colts and draft well. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, John Dorsey, there's not 10 more people more involved with the Super Bowl than the Chiefs Super Bowl than John Dorsey. And there's not 5 more people more responsible for Cleveland going from 0 wins to a playoff win than John Dorsey. So his record speaks for himself. I'm not saying he's perfect, but as him just being the number 2 guy there in Detroit, that's huge. That's a good move. That's a good move. So, yeah. Excited. You should be. It's a good move. Tony Miliaki, God, he was really good, man. Oh, God, he was so good. Could not stay healthy. As a pure passer, yes, they will win with his athleticism. I'm gonna have to take a look at this guy. What happened to CJF, long name? I'm drawing a blank on what that is. Pete's talking about head coach Taggart, no opinion. As a general rule of thumb, when a college head coach and his son comes to play quarterback, it hasn't worked as a general rule of thumb. But I have to admit, I had no idea Taggart's kid played there. I'll be honest, that's piqued my interest. I canceled cable, but if I can find like a link to like the spring game, like a lot of time they have like a spring game. I know ESPN used to advertise the spring game, but if I can find it, I'm going to take a look and kind of see for myself. It'll be interesting, but as a general rule of thumb, it normally doesn't work. And I'm drawing a blank on that guy though. Dallas Clark was really, really good. Tony Miliaki, I didn't know he was in the league that long. But yeah, he just could not stay healthy. Really good player. I thought, that CJ Federowitz. I'm drawing a blank on that guy, to be honest with you. Mike will be okay. FAU Taggart and Son is truly the reason why they're getting better talent, and they're Mike local. Well, a lot of people don't realize this. Florida and Georgia are two of college football's hottest recruiting beds. Texas is number 1. California is like, well, actually, to be honest with you, some people tell you, I think California for Pac-12 schools is the whole Pac-12 area. California's your number 1 spot. SEC talent is Florida and Georgia. So, Texas is number 1 around the whole nation, but Florida, Georgia is a hotbed. You have to understand something. If you can get local talent, you're getting players. Basically what you're doing is you're getting players that can go to SEC schools and start in 2 or 3 years, but they can be 4-year starters at a place like FAU. If you get the right coach, you can recruit those guys and just say, hey, look, yeah, I know you can go to Alabama, Auburn, LSU, wait a year or 2 and then start, or you can come here and play for 4 years. If you can get the right type of coach, like Lane Kiffin, he sold that dream. He said, look, you can go to Alabama, wait a year or 2, and then maybe get a chance to start, or you can come here and start for 4 years. And they get enough of those guys, then you can build something that's really a lot of fun to watch. But usually what happens is then the coach does like what Lane Kiffin did. He gets up and leaves. So, yeah. Tim Patrick, yes. Wide receiver Sutton Light is what – dude, Cortland Sutton's a really, really good player. Patrick Sutton, Judy in the slot. KJ Hamler, return guy, gadget guy. Your offensive line is good. So if I'm Denver, I focus just on the defense, and you could be looking at wild card. So Denver, how's your D-line looking and your linebackers? Damn, I am really behind. I am sorry, guys. Yeah, I believe Watson is gone. Missed that. Okay. Bob Sanders is really good. Really good. If we don't take a receiver this year, I might lose. Hayden Fry, great coach. One of the greatest college football coaches of all time. Didn't win a national championship, but really great coach. Okay. What's your opinion on Denver's front seven? Has some solid safeties. Mike might not like my prediction, but I think Watson comes to Miami and also signs a huge mega deal like Mahomes. Lots of people have. It's funny because lots of people have Deshaun Watson going to Miami. I have J.J. Watt going to Miami, but I think Watson stays in Houston. But hey, man, I've been wrong before too. Mahomes' deal is time friendly, especially because of the way the money is structured and paid out. Amounts are staggered and paid out in such a way they can easily convert. Yes, there was a lot. The Chiefs really did an A+ job with selling Mahomes on the contract and selling him on Kansas City. So it was a really, really great, innovative move by Kansas City. And because the number's $500,000 over 10 years, it's $50 million a year. You screw a lot of other teams because Deshaun Watson didn't sign his contract yet. So Deshaun Watson, a 4-year, $180 million deal. He actually took a team-friendly deal. And then look at a guy like Dak Prescott. Well, he's saying, well, hey, look, Mahomes is making $50 million a year. I want to make $50 million a year. Buffalo, when they get ready to sign Josh Allen, I know Bills Mafia is like, he'll take a pay cut to stay here. No, he's not. He's looking at $50 million a year that Mahomes is making, and he wants to beat that. Trust me, Josh Allen is going to ask for like a 5-year, $300 million deal. You think I'm joking? This offseason, Josh Allen's going to try to get something like a 4-year, $250 million deal, or a 5-year, $300 million deal, or a 8-year, $500 million deal. If he has the same type of season that he did last year, watch out for Josh Allen and how much money he asks Buffalo for. Watch out for that. So the move really was strategic because it staggered out perfectly, just like you said, but it also screws other teams. Let's say Justin Herbert continues to improve. What's he going to ask? Seriously, he may ask, no joke, 2 or 3 years from now, Justin Herbert may ask for $75 million a year. I'm not exaggerating. That's what it does. That's what it does. The Chiefs set the market to where you screw other teams. If you have a great quarterback, you have to give them a crazy amount of money now. And it's really not going to be that much. 5 years from now, $50 million, there may be like 8 or 9 quarterbacks making more than that. So, yeah. Emily, welcome. This is awesome. I'm going to put the comment up here. I'm not going to get involved here. Esther B needs to get launched out of the game. You know what? Where is Mike, man? Where's my buddy? You know what? Since he's not here, I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. I'm trying to get some Cowboys fans in here. But don't tell anybody. Don't let him know. He's not here today for some weird reason. So, all right. Emily, I'm going to wrap this up here in the next 10, 15 minutes. So, Pete could happen. Nothing would surprise me. Dan thinks it depends. Yeah, I do. I had J.J. Watt going to Miami, not Deshaun Watson. I have Watt there. So, all right. CJ, you know what? Now I remember him. Yes. All right. So we got some drier stuff here going on here. Dan offers relationship advice also. It's a great football show with relationship advice. I am awesome. So Not Moyaki. I think he was done with the Chiefs. Okay, CJ. Okay, I was going to say Milwaukee. I think he spent like 1 year in Jacksonville or something. I think he was gone after like 4 or 5 years. So this is awesome. We got some love here between them here. I thought he was pretty solid. Yeah, I kind of forgot how many great tight ends came out of Iowa. I know Fant, Hawkinson, Kittle, but I forgot about all the ones in the past. Yeah, you know what? Stevie might be right, man. That might be exactly how they breed them there in Iowa. I kind of forgot about all the great tight ends that came out of Iowa over the years. So, yeah. Texas is the pipeline. The way the football programs are constructed from Pop Warner to high school is incredible compared to Miami. Oh, dude, it's actually funny because one thing about Missouri is Missouri was in the Big 12 for a long time. They went over to SEC, and same thing with Texas A&M, is that a lot of people don't realize this. And this is, by the way, when Coastal Carolina is recruiting from Florida and Texas, it's very unusual because how you recruit players coming out of Texas is completely different than how you recruit players coming out of let's just say Miami, but basically in the whole Southeast section. In Texas, how you recruit high school players is you got to recruit coaches. And what you do is that there's about 25 coaches on a Texas high school team. There's probably like 6 on Florida. So what you do is that a lot of times you don't even get the head coach. You get like the assistant offensive coordinator, and you say, hey, look, we'll give you the wide receiver position here at this college, but you got to bring this guy, this guy, this guy. And that's usually what happens. Usually what happens is you're a Texas coordinator and you apply for let's just say Texas A&M, and you say, hey, look, let me come in as a wide receiver coach, and I'll bring this 4-star player, this 3-star player, this 3-star player with me. And then a lot of times these coaching staffs have been together for a long period of time. That coach will build a relationship with the school and with some of the other schools in the district, because he's been there for a long time, and they'll say, hey, look, I'll build you a pipeline into Texas. And that's how you recruit into Texas, is you got to recruit coaches. Florida and Miami is a little more difficult because you got to recruit the players. And when you're a good player, like a 4 or 5-star player, you have to recruit the uncle. Because every player's got a family friend who they call an uncle that you got to deal with. And sometimes it's shady. Sometimes it's legit. Sometimes it's a case of, hey, I want to make sure he stays off the streets. He gets good grades. A lot of times it's, hey, I want to make sure he gets to the NFL. A lot of times it's, hey, what kind of stuff can I get? Do I get some shoes? Do I get some jackets? Do I get some tickets? Do I get some sideline passes? Some of it's legal, some of it's not legal. But it's night and day how you recruit the two. With Florida and Miami, you got to recruit the families and the players. With Texas, you recruit the coaches. So when Coastal Carolina, when Mike turned me on to Coastal Carolina, I watched them play KU, and they said that they had players from Texas and they had players from Florida, and they had players from North and South Carolina, and it didn't sound like much to the average person, but if you know how Florida recruiting and Texas recruiting is different, they're getting all these 2- and 3-star players. That's how they were able to build up their team, and that's really very, very unusual. But Pete, I kind of went on a rant there, but yeah, you're 100% correct. How Texas high school is like colleges in 49 other states. They have 60 to 80 to 150 million. I mean, it's crazy. I've heard of several Texas high schools get renovated for $100 million, just the football field. I went down to Westlake. It's a suburb. It's a Fort Worth area, Fort Worth, Dallas. And I was like, hey, it'd be cool to get there. And hey, it'd be cool to watch a high school game there, because I heard all about Texas football. They're like, no, yeah, I'd be on a waiting list. Usually it's like 10 to 15 years, and then you have to buy season tickets. And I'm like, yeah, you're kidding me. Because here you can just walk up, 5 minutes before game time, give them $6 and yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. I would like to move back and control the board for 2022. Remember, you're going to have 2 picks in that 2022 draft. That's going to be a lot of fun. Mike says, I coach Pop Warner. Mike, I bet you're a great coach, man. I thought about coaching, but kids today are softer than baby shit. I guarantee you, I would make kids cry as well. I mean, we got a lot in common, Mike. We got a lot in common. One Pride, I would love to drop back and pick up another first for next year. You know, that's what Miami did. Last year, they had 3 picks in the first round. They even traded back with Green Bay. They went from 26 to 30. They drafted Noah. I can't pronounce his last name. Didn't play much. I thought it was a little surprising. They went corner in the first round and they gave Brian Allen, I think it was like $81 million or something, but it happened. I'm going to try to wrap this up in the next 10 or 15 minutes, but give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And I'm not watching this on YouTube. I may have 15,000 thumbs down. I have no idea. So last year preseason, I was so hyped about our front seven. So many injuries. Yeah, linebackers. It wouldn't surprise me if they go draft some front seven players. I do. This is a good draft to get a corner too. Number 9, Denver picks number 9, and it wouldn't surprise me if they go corner or front seven. It'll be interesting. Denver Gator, we were talking about Parsons earlier. How would you feel about Parsons at 9? Just throw that out there. Mike, 2-a-days were more like 4-a-days. Just oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it is. It is. Two of the best. Mike, I coached flag for a few years. My kids love me. We lost in a tournament. They started to get upset, so I told them it was my fault. I did push-ups, and they counted me. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it is. It is. I agree, Dan. You have a great community. You know, seriously, you guys really make it great because this is just what I do for fun. The draft videos actually get me to grow, but this is just me just having fun. This is definitely just me having lots of fun. I'll be honest. I really don't think I grow that much when I do the live stream, but I just have a blast doing it. It's great. And then, you know, during the year, hopefully my betting will be better and I can make some of you guys some money. So we got a lady in chat. It's actually it's Funk's wife. It was funny. She made a comment on my video, and I thought she was anti Kyle Wilson, and it turns out it's Zach Wilson. God, I was so close to not doing it the rest of the video. So yeah. One Pride 40, do they need to add a DT? You know, I didn't think about it, but they just cut Jarrell Casey, one of my favorite players for the Titans. Didn't really work out in Denver. I believe it was due to injury issues, but I love the guy in Tennessee. I was worried that Denver would really have an upgrade over Derek Wolfe, who left for Baltimore. He was replaced by Casey, a guy who's a lot bigger and better suited for the 3-4 that Fangio wants to run, but just didn't really have anything in the tank, unfortunately. But I mean, yeah, you know, it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do at 9. Denver's going to be an interesting thing. Of course, I'll be doing them the following week. I'll release that video Wednesday. So, by the way, Gator, I got you guys picking Surtain in my mock. Yeah, I keep calling him Kyle. According to Funk, I did it a couple times. I know I did it at least once in the video. By the way, okay, before I end this, I want to get this out. The way my draft would be Lawrence at 1, Fields at 2, Atlanta at 3 would trade up for Kyle Wilson, and then Miami at 4 would attempt to trade down again. But if not, then if they got stuck there, I think they would take Chase. But I think some team would trade up with Miami. I really don't know who. But my mock draft so far, Fields, Chase, without trades would be Chase. But I will say this. I think Atlanta, if Kyle Wilson's available at 3, I think Atlanta will trade up. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then Monday I'll have Cincinnati. Wednesday I will have Philly, and Friday I will have Detroit. And because I do have a lot of Lions fans here, I really hope that you like my Detroit video. You may not like the pick, but I'm going to kind of go over everything, and then of course during the live stream you can go ahead and beat the crap out of me verbally. So. Sertan or Farley, you're spot on. Pride Parsons. Not sure if Fangio would want the character issues, but as a player, he would be an incredible fit. See, if you kept Von Miller on the team, even though there's like the off field, the guy like Von Miller, I could see Parsons working there. I think that would make sense. However, I'm going to stand by it. I don't think he's going in the first round, but I want to see when Penn State has their pro day what people are talking about. I keep wanting to hear things about him because he has all the talent in the world, but I think he's not even going to go in the first round. So, Pete, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Yep. Joe Horn started his career in Kansas City, and oh God, he was real good player. Kyle Wilson and Rice. You mean Zach? Denver, don't be surprised if Vaughn goes. Xavien Collins would be your. Wow, Funk, I didn't see that, but yes, it actually would work. God, that would really suck for me. You know what? I really didn't think he could go top 10, but it would work. It actually would work. That would actually be almost perfect for Denver. So let's not ever bring this up again, Funk. So, but no, I actually think this is brilliant. If Denver did this, I would give Denver an A. Yes, and it would be high, but this would be perfect for Denver. And on that's actually a sad place to end the show, but Denver getting one of my favorite players in the draft. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, actually, I think at 9 it makes sense, but we'll have to see. So hey, listen, I will. Okay, and then Collins, great, or if they trade down, or JOK. JOK would be interesting too, but I don't think you take him. I don't think you take JOK at 9. Which I know a lot of people have the 2 flip-flop. Anyway, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Guys, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about the draft videos. You guys have made a lot of comments in there. I really, really appreciate it. It means the world to me. I had a great time tonight. I hope you did too. It was a great show. I will be back next week. I will have my Bengals video released Monday at noon. Philly will be Wednesday, and of course, all Detroit Friday. So, hey, I'll see you guys next week.